What's going on, everybody? It's Dominic with Power Slap News, and joining me here is Jesse Juggernaut. Jesse, how's it going, man?
How's it going, buddy? Yeah, I talked to you before the fights, and I told you I only thought one belt was leaving and changing over, and only one belt left and changed over. I
You were
called
right.
it.
You were right, and I said 5 rounds for the bell, and we saw 5 rounds for the bell.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Why don't we bet on the? Oh wait, I can't bet on these. That's why I don't.
I
Why
didn't.
don't you bet on these?
I didn't want to, man. I appreciate you guys and your time. I didn't want to ever like be in a situation where I'm like, I wish you the best of luck, and then when you leave, I'm like, yeah, $100 on Jesse to lose. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's all fake, right? Like, so I avoided.
No,
No, I
it,
avoided it. But
it's using your best judgment. I'm like, I think this person's gonna win. I'm friends with both these people, but I think that person's gonna get it.
what was your super heavyweight pick?
Oh, dude, I had Stafford Castro knocked out first hit, but it went to the second hit, and I was surprised. I'm like, I know this guy has slapped people, but he steps into his slaps on his videos online. So I'm like, he can't step. He's not gonna have as much power in his slap unless he's been practicing and training his slap. But has he ever gotten hit? I've not seen it. So I had Dane Viernes winning 100% the whole time.
So that seems to be like the pattern. When I was talking to you guys who do this and are slappers, you guys all said the same thing. You guys all told me the Hawaiians got this all day, but social media and everyone else said to we're like kind of leaning slap for cash. Is that little you guys saw that little, the fire in the Hawaiian's eye, or you just knew based off technique?
Well, we all slap for, well, I mean, I guess it's a living. I mean, we all train to slap and we all see how people slap, what they do right, what they do wrong. And we have that insider information because we do it all the time. So putting two people against each other, you're like, well, that person has this technique and that person has this technique, but this person needs work on this, this, and this. So other guys are going to definitely win every time.
Yeah, that's for sure, right? What were your thoughts on the Power Slap 2 overall versus Power Slap 1? You were at both events. Did you think Power Slap 2 was cleaner, less fouls, everyone was kind of more progressed, or you think it still got some rough edges?
Oh, 100% still has rough edges. I mean, you just look at, go to the title fight,
Hmm.
go to all the title fights. Okay. So you have John Davis versus Wesley. There were like six, I'm not going to say six. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say there was like three or four fouls in just that one fight. Like you had stepping, you had clubbing, you had, I don't think you had any flinching, but you had stepping and clubbing in there. And just, it was a mess.
Hmm.
Plus, that injury was insane. So to see John come back from that injury was amazing.
Yeah.
But
Did you know he was going to throw the right in the fifth? Did you think that was happening?
he's the machine. You do not know what that guy's head is. Like, he's the craziest person I've ever seen. So, like,
So that was
he
one
might
of
be
my
humble, but
that was one of my favorite moments of the event because I was sitting there with the production, some of the like production people, and they're like, his arm's hurt. I'm like, if it goes five, he's throwing it in the fifth. I bet you the world if it go, and then there it is, round five, and you see him lining up the right, and you're like, oh my god, what a machine, what a machine.
oh, yeah. Like, if you're not getting with the left, if left's not doing anything, go back to what's working for you, even if it's hurt. Your last lap, you don't have to do anything after this.
Right?
So just put it all out there.
Right. Speaking of her, we saw some pretty gnarly faces, some pretty gnarly injuries after this. Anyone give you any complaints on the aftercare, or everyone's still very happy with the way that they're treated at the UFC, at the medical, and all that?
Oh, UFC is top of the line. Medical is amazing. I haven't needed any myself yet, but from what I hear, they hook people up on everything they actually need.
Mm.
So I mean, if I ever get hurt in Power Slap, I am happy the UFC and medical team have my back on anything that happens.
Mm. So when we started this interview, Jesse, you said, I told you so. I told you only one belt was going to get changed. You know what else you told me? That you were going to make weight. I'm not going to lie. I was sus. You were sitting there. We were hanging out before day one, something 8 pounds, 9 pounds. I was concerned when I saw you coming up to the scale. Ate my words. Jesse made weight. How'd that feel?
Well, I cut like a pro. I've been cutting forever. And 185 is not bad, especially the next day when you're weighing 201
Mm-hmm.
in the match. Like, so I wish I could have cut like I did my Power Slap one where I didn't fight. So I made 184 and a half, and the next day I was 215. I cut right, and I know how to water load to lose the last like 10 pounds. So I can get all my weight back plus some.
And that's what you told me. You said, Dom, don't worry, it's water. I know what I'm doing. I kept saying, what are you at, Jesse? What are you? I was getting all scared. You told me not to worry. Sure enough, made weight. Going back to weight though, rumor is everyone's kind of shifting. What are your thoughts on that? Is that everyone just kind of feeling themselves out in this new sport, kind of feeling where they're most comfortable after Power Slap 1 and 2? Any thoughts for who's going up and down?
Well, I know a lot of the heavyweights wants to go to 205. I've heard Cody Cox say it. I've heard Turpin say it. I know Ron Beta has said it a few times. So I mean, like, yeah, everybody's changing. I seen just this last card we had Manny go down to 170.
Yep.
Emmanuel
Yep.
Muniz, yeah, he went down to 170. I want to go down to 170 for my next time, but everybody's like, I want to crack that chin, stay at 185, and I'm just like, but I'll be huge at 170. Let's go to 170.
And how's that weight cut gonna be for you? 170's easy peasy?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I'll actually have to work
Okay.
and cut weight. Like 185, I'm not worried about it
Mhm.
at all. I can make it from any weight down to 185, but I think I can't get above like 190, and I got to cut like 20 pounds for this. So I got to lose 8 pounds. I'm at 198 right now. So
So that would be no problem. So is that something like you're really thinking about, or is it just kind of right now in the back burner, like everyone shifting, maybe I should shift too?
okay, so if Power Slap 3, if I'm on it and it's in August, I'll do 170.
Mm,
If it's in July, I'll do 185.
mm. Well, July would be quick. July would be a quick turnaround if they did one in July. They
Yeah, so I can make 185 by July. I can make 170 by August. So that tells you a lot about my weight cuts.
Well, it sounds like you know what you're doing when it comes to that. They did say there's 20,000 applicants coming into Power Slap. If any of them are watching this, trying to get a little inside tip on what to do, what are you telling these guys who are coming into this for the first time? These 20,000 people that put their name down, that they're next to step up to the barrel, they want to do what you're doing. What's your advice?
Have a good chin. If you don't have a good chin, you're not going to last in this. And chin is something you cannot train. Um, another thing is have your technique down. Don't be stepping. Don't foul. Don't flinch. Um, like as long as your fouls stay down and your chin is good, you can probably make it in this league. But the people that are fouling, the people whose chin are already cracked and getting knocked out, they're not the ones that are going to be staying in this league.
Now, do you think these 20,000 are people with combat sports experience, or you think this is going to be kind of what we're typically seeing for Power Slap, the average worker, the Joe Blow, getting their opportunity to come out and shine?
So I seen one guy, I forget who did the interview, but Zach God's Warrior Zane, I
Hmm?
heard wants to come to Power Slap. And I've been on a couple cards with him up in Washington State. I've been to a few of his fights that he fought up here. So like that I want to see. I would love for him to come over. Like he'll probably do 170 or 155. Um, and if he does 155, I hope they open that 155 division finally.
Hmm.
Because I will go down to 170 for two and then back down to 155 for the rest of mine.
155, you'd go all the way down to Jesse.
I've
Is
fought
that a boast? Are you
145.
you're boasting? You're just telling me right now you made that first weight cut. You're feeling good. You're telling me 155. You fight confidently at 155?
I did most of my amateur and pro career at 155.
That seems like a big cut. I've seen you in person. That seems like a big cut.
I've made 145 four times in my career, so
Oh,
155 is doable. I've made that multiple times.
oh boy, that seems big. So you guys coming in, they got to have a chin. They got to have their weight in check. Now, do you think there's ever going to be a point where professional fighters like you guys with the sports athletes come in and then we don't get any of these like metal workers, mechanic. We don't see any of those fresh off the line anymore. Like, or is this sport always going to have that opportunity for those guys?
Honestly, once some people pick up slap and like start doing it on lower levels, then it'll probably pick up guys from other slap leagues and not random Joes. People that have been seen to do this and have an actual record already. Right now, it's so new and so unheard of in America that you're going to get people without records, and then you're going to get like the Dariuses, the Wolverines, the Bells. But soon you'll get the mechanics, the machines, the Kryptonians, the juggernauts out here afterwards.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll see a progression. I like what you said with the amateur leagues, like when the sport grows outside of what is power slap. Like I know there's a few other leagues out there, slap fighting championship. There's the Russian ones. I know there's a Polish. I think there's a Japanese one now that's like up and running. So it's definitely a growing sport. The ecosystems around. You're thinking pulling from those pools more than the guy who just wants to get up and try this.
Yes, 100%.
Are you excited for that international pools, or do you kind of like this? Keep it local, keep it family. You know, you guys are all real tight right now.
I would love to see like a power slap one, like season one, versus like a power slap season two if they do international next. Like power slap three is us versus them.
Mm, that'd be interesting. Like almost a team dynamic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Americans go against the Europeans and the Europeans go against Americans.
yeah, yeah. I
See
get
who
that.
actually has a better chin.
That's interesting. Now, where would we take Power Slap to next? If we had to pick another state, where are you heading to, Jesse? You get to pick. It's in your choice right now. Where are you going?
In America, another state, I'd probably you already have it in Nevada, so I'd go like northeast more. I don't know. Let's go like New York. Bring it to New York.
Bring it to the boxing capital of the world. Bring it in there, the big ring.
Oh yeah, like they just brought MMA into there, so I doubt they'll bring power slap in because it's so soon. But I mean, it has a big following, and a lot of people are in New York, so you'd get a good audience for it.
Well, there's a big what if. Do you ever see Power Slap filling a stadium? And if so, how many fights on that card to make like a stadium worth?
I could. I mean, it's already filling an Apex, and there's no tickets on sale in the world,
Hmm.
and we have a huge social media following already. So yeah, filling a stadium would be super easy, in my opinion. To make it worth it, I'd say probably 15 power slap fights as a minimum.
I was gonna say 15. I think I agree with you there. I think that's a clean card right there. And then maybe two, three belts on the line every time.
I don't think you can put belts on every time. Like I'd say at least one belt per event, but I don't think you can do like all the belts every time.
Yeah, and I know they said the sport's too early for a double champ. How long until you think we get? You think we need the extra division? The 155 division has to come in first. Then add the female division in first. Like, when do you think they're gonna finally allow somebody to go for two?
I think like if you defend it like 4 or 5 times and like nobody in your division, you've already run through your division, then yeah, let you go to the next division up, see how you survive there.
So not so much a progression of the sport, more of a progression of you. If you run through the division, there's nothing left for you. Go for it. Go have at it.
Yeah, especially because it's power slap. Anybody can win on any given day.
Mm. Well, speaking of win, did you see Damien, the Bell post with his new car?
Ooh, that oh my gosh,
Uh, it's a
you get that
Mustang.
win bonus.
Yeah,
I know you get that win bonus and you just go crazy, I guess.
he
I
said
saw
at the said at the interview, he's like, I'm gonna go buy a Mustang, and now we see him posting with. And they were like, okay, I see you.
now my question is, did he buy it flat out or does he have payments on
That sounds like a question for the podcast. Get him on the podcast. Start asking him
it?
questions.
uh,
I don't want to go too much more into Power Slap 2. I know we already talked about that. Where do you think the future of this sport really lies? Is it in social media? Is it in competitive sports? Is it in the gambling aspect? Where is Power Slap gonna find its true home in the world of sports?
well, as everybody knows, it's huge on social media. Has a big social media following. So I see it continuing on Rumble, maybe transferring over to YouTube and getting those contracts to keep it on there. And I feel like we're gonna grow by gambling,
Mhm.
by sponsorships, and by viewers that, and ticket sales are gonna be nice too sooner or later.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see a crowd in there. Like when you're at the Apex, the energy in the Apex is crazy. Like when there's a crowd and like the hush on the lineup and everybody's quiet. It's like a golf almost. Everyone's real quiet, and then boom, and there's this eruption like in a stadium. That's gonna feel crazy.
Oh yeah, and just get some more microphones around the stage so that slap is even louder.
Yeah, because in the
So you actually
replay
hear
they
the
have
crack.
yeah, and like the social media, they'll give you guys like the top down view, and you'll really hear the crack in like those cameras. But yeah, and like the quick one, you don't have it. You're right. They got to get more of that HD audio in there for you guys.
All right. So yeah, that's where the excitement's going to be. Is in that crack. That's where everybody's going to start cheering.
That was Jimmy slapping the walls, looking for that clap. He wanted that good sound. You know, he said that's something the judges are looking for. Do you think that's something the judges are looking for? The sound?
I think they're looking for how well the slap lands, how hard did it look, how loud did it sound, and what did it do to your opponent.
I think the what did it do to your opponent should be the biggest one.
Oh yeah, like if your opponent's still standing there shaking his head no after you hit him, you probably didn't do much. Either that or he's very has a good poker face.
I'm gonna let you go, Jesse. I know you got a big day planned, but I got one other question here for you. The world's strongest men were there. Do you see those guys power slapping anytime soon? Did they get a little taste? Did they get the itch?
Dane Viernes needs an opponent.
Get those guys in there.
I think that's it's they're super heavy, so yeah.
They were big boys. There were some big boys there. Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go, Jesse. I really do appreciate your time. Before I do let you go, where can the people find you? Social media? What do you got going on right now?
Um Jesse Busta Nutting on Instagram is the biggest way to find me. I'm on there most of all. I'm on Facebook, Jesse Nutting, if you want to add me. Um, that's pretty much the only two I ever really stay on for majority of my time. So there's two places you can see me in my story.
I saw you posted it again with the podcast. You guys had a recent episode with Ryan. That's a new one?
Yes, we just did our 15th episode for Barefisted Podcast. You can follow us on YouTube, and you can follow us on all other social medias under Barefisted Podcast.
I'll make sure I'll link all that down below. Jesse, I really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of the day out with your family. I know you got big things planned. Thanks, man. I really do appreciate you always coming on and chatting with me. You know, you're one of the first interviews I ever done.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it, definitely.
All right, man. Have a great one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you too. Bye.